शौर दे के मोहम्मद के आस्ताने का.
My name is Shoaib. I would like to ask a little personal question, if you don't mind.
Yes.
Okay, the question is regarding Wahi and Ilham.
Yes.
And I would like to ask if you personally had any experience like this. And secondly, if we as a common Muslim, can we experience, if we would like to experience God like that? Is it possible?
But first, take up, please sit down. Please take up the first thing, that Wahi and Ilham. These are the two terminologies in Islamic jurisprudence, which says that Allah Almighty sometimes gives the Wahi and also gives the Ilham. These are the two things which are the blessings of God, and it's a continuous phenomenon with God Almighty and with His chosen people. But it is not the right of anybody. This must be understood, that nobody can say that as I am a Muslim, I am offering 5 daily prayers regularly, I pay zakat, I have performed Hajj, I have done this thing and that thing. So therefore, I am qualified, or I have the right that God Almighty should speak to him. That is not. Allah Almighty has mentioned, I think somewhere in the Holy Quran as well, and Hadith make it clear, that Allah Almighty speaks to those people whom He likes. Man yasha, that word is used there, that nobody can put a command to God that as I'm there, like this person, and apparently I haven't done anything wrong, so I have the right that you should be speaking to me. Not. It is the right of God. It is the selection of God, whomsoever He likes, He speaks. So by way of a vision, by way of a dream, or by way of any verbal sentence or message which is there, that is the right of God Almighty to give to anybody He likes. So nobody can make a choice. Nobody can, submit a demand on that. In that case, that it should be like that. And moreover, these are the things which it is appropriate that these things should be kept to one's own self, not inquiring from other people, not finding out, unless when those people, they are in a way in a position to mention that, or something is given which is for benefit for other people as well, and they receive the message and then they mention it to the people. If they are writing the books, in the books they write, or verbally they mention so many times. I give you the example of the Holy Prophet ﷺ to begin with, because that is the first and the foremost source of information for us. His revelation was of two types. It should be remembered, that might be something new. One is called Wahi Matluf, that Wahi which was recited later on, and that means the verses of the Holy Quran. Matlu is from Talawat. That Wahi which is done the Talawat, which is recited as like that, and that is a reference to the Holy Quran. So that is the first type of Wahi which was given to the Holy Prophet ﷺ. Then there was the second type, which is known as Wahi Ghair Matluf. That revelation, that Wahi which was not to be recited on a regular basis. So it was a message given for guidance of the Holy Prophet ﷺ. For so many times, there are things in his life very clearly mentioned by the historians and the scholars of Islam, that on such and such occasion there was a point what to be done. The Holy Prophet ﷺ prayed to Allah. That was his source guide and guide of all the believers, as a matter of fact. So Allah Almighty revealed something, or spoke something, or put something into the heart of the Holy Prophet ﷺ in such a way that it was quite clear that it should be there. Many times, for example, the question was that if the army of the non-believers is coming to attack the Muslims, should we go outside Medina to fight them, or should we stay in Medina? What should be done? Nowhere it is written in the Holy Quran. But the Hadiths tell us that the Holy Prophet ﷺ was guided on some points that yes, we should stay in Medina. Like on Battle of Ditch, he decided that he would stay in Medina, not go outside. and the armies were coming from outside, that it is mentioned that one Persian companion of the Holy Prophet ﷺ, Salman Farsi, he mentioned by way of suggestion to the Holy Prophet ﷺ when he decided that we should stay in Medina. So he mentioned that in our nation, in our people, the style is that we dig a ditch around the place where we are. So if we adopt the same style, that we prepare a ditch alongside Medina, in that case we will be on the other side of the ditch and the army will not be able to come across that. So we'll be very safe. That will be a natural barrier between us and the enemy. So the Holy Prophet ﷺ, after the prayer, he agreed that yes, this is a good idea, we should do like that. And all the companions, they joined together, including even the Holy Prophet ﷺ, in digging the ditch. And it was quite deep and quite long, just going the whole Medina, so it was prepared. So this is one of the examples where Allah Almighty guided, but that is not written in the Holy Quran or elsewhere like that. So this is the Wahi and revelation which I mentioned. But those people who are given any type of this Wahi or Ilham, if they are authorized, then they mention, and not without that, because that carries an element of self-praise or other things like that, which is of course not right. But we see in our age very clearly the example of the founder of the community, the promised Messiah, ﷺ. He wrote in his books whenever he received the revelation, and frequently he received the revelation, that the full compilation of the book of his revelation, which includes revelation in various languages, even those languages which he did not know, but Allah Almighty revealed in that. And moreover, the translations have been added there. So the book is about 1,000 pages. 1,000 pages of tazkara is there, in which the revelation is there. Then the caliphs, we also know, that the Khalifatul Masih Awwal, the second, the third, the fourth, and by the grace of Allah, Khalifatul Masih the Khamis, on several occasions, he has mentioned that Allah Almighty guided him in such and such way. So if the wording is there, that is the revelation. So or something is guided there, in any way, it depends on Allah Almighty. So these are the things which are needed to be told and permitted to be told, and they are mentioned by those saintly people.
मिजाज बदलेंगे हम इस नए ज़माने